So it's the final episode on Bacon Ice Cream Productions before I pass the baton over to this fine man right here. And you know what? I still haven't gotten a good cold open. So let's do this.
rtfc.baconicecream.com.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Evercast, your weekly dose of Evercade goodness. I'm one of your hosts, Rich. We've got, of course, Ed, Retro KillDashNine, the Evercade effect himself. What's going on?
Yeah, go Chiefs!
Yeah. We've got Crow. What's going on?
Not much. Can't
Not
pull
much.
up anything, but because I didn't set anything up, so
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Yeah.
you're just there.
I'm just here. Because I started to set things up and I started hearing my own voice in my headphones. Like, that's not set up right. I don't want
And then
when that happens.
headphones were unplugged. No.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had white balancing issues on the camera. So actually, while we were in the back show, I had to actually like unplug the camera and plug it back in. And do all.
That's
This
racist.
is a wild thing. And of course, we've got Pete, the EverCanadian. What's going on?
Yo, punks, what's going on?
What's up? And we've got a hop-in chat already. There's
You're getting a little lippy, though, to be honest.
we're just a little chippy in the chat, like having to wait for us. Anytime we go like close to the 10-minute over mark, it just starts getting a little crazy in there, but it's okay. So we got Dan Nastic. What's going on? We got Casey in the house. What's up? We got Dan Ruff. What's going on? Skeletrax is here. Ian Hobbies is here. Polygon Treehouse, welcome. What's going on? Crimson Cross is here. Nick the Toy Collector is here. And Center is here. Hello. What's up? Welcome. Kid Guzzy from a drizzly Florida Atlantic coast, your weekly Florida coast weather from Kid Guzzy. What's going on? Jason Shires, how's it going? We've got that guy Crow Continuum. He's around. He's always
I don't know who that is.
Sirens, what's going on? John Schneiderman's here. Good to see you. And there we go. We're ready. We're ready for another cool show for you. What do we got? I don't know. I mean, as far as the intro and chat goes, it's been a week. It's been another one of those weeks. Busy, but not as busy enough to like not get stuff on the channel over in my neck of the woods. I was able to still kind of sneak things in there, a couple shorts here, another video there, but it's still at the work, man. It's just always getting buried. I don't know. I guess this is the new normal. But how's the week going on with everybody else?
Don't all talk at once. No. I would say sure. It's just not warm enough yet here in Texas.
Yeah.
For that. No. You know what? Yeah, I do need to get back into that. No, I can tell you what we don't have, and that's the Indie Heroes 2 bundle.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that.
Last update I got, I know someone else like posted in Discord was the first, nothing else. And then I love how Funstock, they posted like, is everybody enjoying their bundle or everybody enjoying Indie Heroes 2? I'm like, hey, mine's still stuck here. Of course.
Well, yeah, I didn't get the bundle, but I did get the plush and a couple other things. And they sent it supposedly when they sent all the other stuff out. All I know is that it left the UK. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's the same here. It's the same here.
Mine's
It's like,
still in Germany. Well, no, it left Germany. It arrived in Canada yesterday.
But
Why did mine go to Germany? I don't understand that.
yeah. Well, I might have to do a live check-in later on in the show to see if tracking has changed. But yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it looks like the three of us, anyone here in the States, it's like it left the UK. And you'll get stuff later, but that was like 7 days ago, and that never happens.
Actually,
it's usually always like a day or two, and then it arrived. And then it clears another day, a couple days later for customs, and then you get it. So
the show has summoned stuff before. Like, didn't we all get like our VS like notifications for the founder?
Oh, that's true.
Like,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
like,
right. Yes,
yeah,
that's
this show.
absolutely true.
I can tell you, is mine left Great Britain on the 26th of January.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be. I'll check later, but it has to be around the same time frame for me too.
Yeah.
Within a day or two of that date, it was still in January that I got the notification. Very, very strange. that it's like on the way, and then another 10 or 11 days goes by or more, and it's still not like around. Very, very weird.
I just don't think it's going to get updated. I think it's just going to show up.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Like and then watch, right, because Ed said the thing it is very, very common that we'll say something about that, and then all of a sudden, oh come on, Jason.
Yeah, mine was sent out on the 26th.
It's in the cylindrical thing.
Look, I don't have to worry about the game though.
Well, yes. Well, you got the pegless version.
Yeah, I got the pegless
version. Yeah, I know Sirens, and I'm concerned for like when I get our limited editions, we're gonna have to go through the same nonsense probably.
Yeah, well, I heard it was different though. Like they're gonna do something different with the shipping. But speaking of all of those things and other people in the chat saying hello, let's double back because a whole bunch of people showed up right after we said hello to everyone. Karsten, what's going on?
What's up?
Disco 74, what's going on? RMGB TV from the dull gray coast of south coast of England. We're getting English weather reports too. That's pretty cool. We got Rick B. How's it going on? Nobody's late. Everybody just arrives exactly when they mean to. I had to go to the corner store, buy a loaf of bread, container, and milk, and a stick of butter.
I love that he gave us the shopping list.
Well, I'm glad you have all the necessities, sir.
I actually like a couple of these comments here. Jason says the Indie Heroes 2 delivery shot down over Alaska.
Yeah. We
and then Nick, the shipment was stolen by the same bandits. Of course, they needed something to play on. They needed something to play on EXP.
Maybe it was in that balloon.
Right?
Maybe it was in that giant balloon that came over.
Yeah,
in US. Right. But mine has been sitting in Germany since the 26th, and only arrived in Canada yesterday. So I don't know what.
But you do know they shot something down over Alaska recently.
Yeah, it's 2 days ago.
It's a different
Santa Claus, probably.
Yeah, it was like this weird cylindrical object. It was like no information on it. It's like what's going on here? People like shooting down all this stuff.
Conspiracy cast.
It's pretty wild. But I mean,
you're saying, Rich, they are using it. They're going to ship it like DHL or something else. The limited editions.
I think. Well, so they said that they're using. They're going to use like an airmail provider rather than specifically Royal Mail or anything else. So when those go out, they are going to be dispatched differently than traditional shipments from Funstock. So I remember seeing that in the email from Andrew. So
delivered by drone,
right?
Yes, delivered by drone.
The Evercade will fly itself,
right?
Hey, they had to remake them. They added like wings and a jet.
All right, let's see here.
Oh man,
trying to see if I can get my shipping notification.
I was wrong. It actually left the UK on February 1st. That was the last I heard of it. I was actually looking at the wrong shipping.
Let's see. Tracking history. Item leaving the UK Tuesday the 31st.
Yeah, okay. So the day before, mine said leaving the UK.
Yes, mine was the day after. Nothing's changed.
So, yep. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. Again, like nothing. I've never seen anything like that. Out of the,
it's taking a slow boat.
We just had some bad luck. I mean, it's like we just have some bad luck with Evercade. It's like
that's all right. I mean, again, as long as everything kind of just gets, gets back in and clicks back in action. We were definitely spoiled though for those where they're getting stuff out of Funstock, ordering and then up to 5 days prior to release. Getting your stuff in the US from Funstock. I mean, that was pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie, but obviously, there was gonna be a time where there was gonna be some kind of miss. But yeah, it's all good. It's okay. We're hanging in there. So anyway, other than that though, there isn't any kind of like news or anything of that nature. However, there was some kind of hint though. On the social medias from I think it was Funstock themselves, kind of hinting that there was something else to the 17th other than just the pre-orders for the Toa Plan and C64 2 So that's a little bit of fun to speculate.
Yeah, but like it's fun stock. So like I said before the show started, it could be a blanket.
Yeah.
It could be a pin.
Mm-hmm.
It could
Oh
be
yeah,
anything.
I'm definitely going. It is a like a gaming related paraphernalia. Like it is going to be a thing.
Coffee mug. I'm over the coffee mug because every coffee mug I ever see on sale is the small coffee mugs. They're useless. I need a big coffee mug.
You need the giant ones,
Yeah,
not
I
those
agree,
little tiny little 12-ounce ones or 8-ounce ones. That's for babies.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say spoiler.
So I will boycott any mug on principle. Sorry.
No, I hear you. I like human size. Yeah.
Yeah, like actual things you can put more than a cup in.
Yes.
You mean like this?
Oh yeah. Or even mine, like a PlayStation
Yeah,
one,
Crow,
like
exactly
that's
that. Yeah,
like adequate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good times. That's good times. But ooh, Karsten with some stuff there. Kev Bayless saying
Bayless.
he was a former Rare developer, working with Playtonic.
Yeah.
The Playtonic will have to
What's Playtonic?
Yeah, that's gonna have to be a wiki for me. I'm gonna have to figure out what that is.
Playtonic sounds sus.
Sounds
Seems
sus.
like it seems like I should know what that is, but I can't remember.
Platonic's title what? Ooh, what? Oh, that's Platonic.
Game.
I'm like Platonic. I'm like, what? Platonic Games. Our games. Oh, it's a game publisher.
Yeah, Blossom Tales 2, a little golf journey, bullets per minute, Demon Turf. Also, lots of really cool stuff.
Yeah, Switch and Steam games. Well, look at that.
Yeah, little Gator game. Oh, ukulele.
What's the ukulele?
Yeah, that's where I've heard of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ooh, Blossom's Tale. That
Yeah.
Is it based on the 80s TV show Blossom?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'd buy that. I'd play that.
Oh, that's another one. I have that game, A Little Golf Journey.
Oh,
I just haven't played it.
Nice.
Oh.
Well, hey, I mean that's kind of cool.
You should put it up. I need to put Rich, put it up on the screen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll put the page up in.
The Minotaur King has returned, and it's all your fault. Why is it my fault? What the? I hate when companies do that.
There we go. Take a look at this. This is pretty neat.
Oh,
all sorts of fun stuff. Oh, here we gotta put the Crow up here.
I like the art, anyways.
There's their logo.
$17.
Oh yeah, Platonic Games and Limited Run.
Yeah.
What was it?
Well,
What's the game? Oh, it's a little golf journey.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, Limited Run. You're part of the problem, Crow.
Yeah, I am a big problem. I am a big problem.
I mean, ukulele was kind of cool. People like that. I like what's this Victory Heat Rally thing? That's pretty cool.
Well, I just bought the game.
Oh.
Blossom
he says RMGB TV says that
Oh, we designed Battletoads for
Bayless.
Xbox, the revision one.
Oh, the revision. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
that game was not nearly as bad as all the hardcore gamer nerds said it was.
I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah, but I mean that's not. It played better than like it played.
I'm not gonna, but I do like the music because I have the soundtrack on vinyl.
You're an odd duck there, Crow.
Oh, this looks fun.
I just bought Blossom's Tale, so I want to play that game.
Yeah, it looks like a little top-down action.
It reminds me of my favorite Zelda ever, and only Zelda I really truly love. That one is Link to the Past.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
I did finish Ocarina
has that little vibe,
but that was more just because I had to.
I didn't have to. I played it, and I was like, nope, stop playing it.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time's okay. But yeah, Link to the Past. But I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I'm the guy who's never played Breath of the Wild past 5 hours.
Actually, that Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game I really liked since A Link to the Past.
I just couldn't get into it.
I haven't really gotten into the 3D Zeldas. I think I
BPM?
played a little bit.
Yeah.
The one for 64. But...
Look at that. We've just found an official announcement. Tonic Games will coming to Evercade. You heard it here first. Done.
Well, I mean,
if he comes in and says he's working with Evercade, what else would he be doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like I don't know about.
We're not dumb. Like we're
this
not
FPS here. I don't think that's going to be running on Evercade anytime soon. that would be cool though to get that other one though.
We have to look at these games now and see which ones look like they would be running on an Evercade.
I think Blossom's Tales can.
Yeah, the Blossom Tail definitely looks like it can. What about the Victory Heat Rally?
Ukulele. I never played it.
I'm with I'm with you that John. I don't like when 2D franchises go 3D.
He didn't specifically say, he was hinting, where there's smoke, there's fire.
This one looks.
Where there's fire, there's
Victory
barbecue.
Heat Rally. Yeah,
where there's barbecue, there's
that
fat
neat.
gamers.
That could definitely. I'm sure that could play.
You know what? I might actually look and see if that's on Steam because that looks.
It is Crow on Steam. Crow.
This is a great. Thank you. No, this is a good topic because we kind of wondered, like, at some point. I think me and Rich were talking about this the other day that maybe they're going to get like all the licenses, let's say, for like retro games that they can get, and are they going to like transition to kind of getting more like indie games like that? Releasing more dual carts, like was Awas and Cathedral like kind of like a test?
How long before we get a cart that only has one game on it?
It's coming.
Yeah, you think?
It's coming.
I mean, it's got to be. It's got to be huge, right?
Oh, it's not available yet on Steam.
Which one?
The Victory Heat Rally.
Oh.
Only the demo is.
Got it.
We keep saying like Paprium because it, an awesome beat 'em up. That's I don't even know if you can't easily like buy that digitally.
I don't think that's.
I don't even know if you can. No, I don't think you can even get the ROMs. I think I looked on that.
Well, this one looks pretty cool.
Or if you can get it, it's going to be from like Kickstarter, so it's going to, I don't know. It's like sketchy. But
this is pretty neat. Like a running gun,
looking at their
bullet hell kind of game. This could definitely work.
At their publisher page on Steam.
Yes. Or what about like something like Chained Echoes? Yeah, that would be something like that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Blossom Tales looks like it could be.
Yeah, I just bought Blossom Tail. Not two, because the sequel, both are on Steam, but I want to try the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's pretty neat. Well, these are just the latest games.
Hack and slash in a while like that, like Zelda inspired. It's obviously Zelda inspired because the music in the trailer is kind of Zelda-ish.
Sure.
Yeah, it really looks like A Link to the Past.
Why do you think I bought it? I'm not stupid.
Well, see, the thing too.
Well, I buy things because I am stupid,
Well, I didn't want to say that, Crow, to make you feel bad.
See, the thing is, they can do like impossible ports and all that, like they've done on the Switch. It's just depending. Some companies might not see that it's worth the time and the effort for a small market. So who knows? I hope that's not the case. But
well, we don't know how. That's the problem with the Evercade. We just don't know what the market is, right? Like no one knows, right? Is there 100,000 units out there? Is 10,000 units out there? I'd like to know. Like, I don't know why you're so secretive with that. Like,
yeah, it's very, very cool.
You don't have to give us details. Just say, hey, we've got more than 50,000 units out there, or less than 100,000, or something like that.
Yeah,
I'd be impressed if the numbers if they said, hey, for VS is not including the founders, like the white version, we got 10,000 of those out there. I'd be impressed. Like, that would be awesome.
I think I'd be impressed if they said combines like VS over 25,000. That would impress me. I think they probably, because they sold 5,000 limited editions, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How many limited
was
available?
With all consoles going back to the OG, the purple, the EXP, and even let's say the pre-orders for limited edition, do you think they've gone over 100?
I think if they were like near 100,000, I'd be quite impressed. Over 100,000, no way they got over 100. If they do, wow, that's awesome. But I don't think
over 50.
I'd say 50 probably is probably where they're at.
Yeah. That would be impressive. Yeah, I would be curious to know. We're just like how many copies like through retailers of like Namco sold, something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that we might not be able to get that information, but the person that knows that information might be lurking. So let's see. Well, hello, sir.
Hey, Sean.
How's it going?
It's going on. How's it going?
It's Ryan.
Good.
Ryan doesn't actually exist. It's just Sean's pseudonym.
Ryan is actually an AI. All this chat GPT stuff. Ryan is actually like the original AI.
Makes sense.
That explains his humor.
Nice. So how's it going, sir?
Yeah, it's going okay. having a lot of fun. You guys talking about the man Kev. I have some of his works right here.
Oh, yeah, Rare Replay, yeah.
A lot of his stuff on here from the early to mid days of Rare. I think I actually, back in the day before I did PR and all this nonsense, I'm pretty sure I interviewed him when he was at Playtonic doing ukulele. Because when that game came out, Playtonic were the darlings of the British industry because they were effectively Rare 2.0. And everyone was like, this is going to be like Banjo-Kazooie. This is going to be like all of these things. We love it. We love it. And everybody did. And it was great. So, yeah, it's great to see that Kev's still around doing stuff. And yeah, he messaged me yesterday and we were talking about Evercade, and he's doing some streams himself because he's doing quite a lot of retro stuff as he is a retro developer of the old school. So yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Very neat.
I cannot confirm nor deny whether any of his titles, previous or current, will be coming to the Evercade before you ask. But we would sure love them if we could.
Yeah, and it's always fun to to speculate and have fun with that too. So but yeah, no, very cool stuff. Very, very neat. Very neat. So all right. So we've got did you want to just say something?
Well, I was going to say, before you jumped in here, we were talking, we were curious about the number of consoles and all that sold. Didn't know if you could give us any insight to that.
Well, I can tell you there's at least 11,000 if you combine the Founders, the limited edition, and the 1,000 of the purple that got sold.
Right. Of course.
Well, all right. I mean, that's...
We do have a sort of a company policy not to discuss sales figures or anything like that. I think the one thing we did disclose last year was that we sold more than the Atari Jaguar had.
All right. Well, so that
I can't remember how true that is or not now.
Well, I mean, it is at least something to hang the hat on, right? Yeah.
I think it was more of a joke at the time because everybody kept asking for Atari Jaguar emulation, and we were like, "Well,
that's funny."
Oh, and then I guess the other thing was what I guess Rich was saying, that are like the limited editions from Funstock that are being sent out a different carrier.
Potentially, yes. I'm not entirely sure exactly what's happening with those yet, but I will give you a little bit of an update as to why there hasn't been an update.
Sure. As
we've said, we want everybody to get the information when it's the right information and it's the correct information. So we're not going to go, we might be getting this, we might be getting that. We want to give people definitives because of everything that's happened. So that's why we haven't given anybody a definitive date yet. We've been working with the factory. They've come back from Chinese New Year, making sure they got all the parts and everything in place in order to stick it all together. As we said, we were addressing some of the issues that had arisen from some of the earlier bits. So there's a little bit of fiddling going on in there as well, which is why it's hitting March, as we said, as the aim for it. But it is on track. Hopefully we get something more on that. The one thing we can definitively tell you is that we are still working with the police about not mainly tracking down stuff, but also highlighting whenever any listings or anything comes up, because I know eBay has had quite a lot of listings. Facebook Marketplace we can manage. eBay, you have to be a member of law enforcement in order to report an item as stolen. And I've been on the phone to eBay, literally speaking to a person on the phone in 2023. It's pretty mad. Gone through all the hoops, gone through everything we can, but until the police call them and tell them, there's nothing we can do. We thought about going to the companies that are listing it, because there are some legitimate companies now listing it on eBay, which may or may not should know better, but it's one of those. One of those things. So we are still working on all of this and still trying to get there. And obviously it's you guys that are primarily in our thoughts and in our resources when it comes to that. So don't worry, we're not letting you down or anything like that. We are still actively very hard working on getting everything to you as soon as we can.
Nice.
And we appreciate that. No, that's
100%.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's very, very, very cool. Tales from the Junland Waste saying you mentioned that Asia's market that Evercade is actively promoting. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean we can't sell in Asia specifically because of the fact that we've got contracts that say they're global contracts, but they are mostly directly to the countries and things like that. But Asia is one of those places that you know, there's a lot of love for Evercade. There's a lot of Japanese people like YouTubers and stuff like that that are beginning to pick it up. They really like the idea and concept, and every Japanese developer and license holder that we've spoken to really dig it, which is great.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But what we have to do in order to do this is to go over to Japan, to go over to China, to go over to all these places and sort of see what we can do, and sort of meet people, because there's only so much you can do virtually. And now the world's in a position where we can do that. So this year is going to be outrageously busy for licenses and talking to people like that. Awesome. And then from my end, possibly coming over to your neck of the woods to come to some retro festivals and stuff. So
very cool. So that's really awesome. Are you excited about making those journeys?
I am, but I'm also looking at all of the dates going, a lot of these are either back to back or on a weekend where I should be doing something else that I'll have to cancel. I have to do this, but it's the same in the UK, because like in the UK there's a show called Insomnia, which I used to do in my old job. We might do something with them in the future, who knows, but it always falls on a bank holiday weekend. And when you've worked the Easter bank holiday weekend 4 years in a row, standing on your feet on a stand, you're kind of like, you're quite like, I'm pushing 40. You know, my foot spa is in the loft. It's not available for us.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I love going. I love hitting the convention scene and all that kind of stuff. And it's been really hard for the past couple of years to do that kind of stuff. I'm eagerly awaiting the chance to go and do some more adventures. But I also have the other side of the coin that prevents me from doing things like that. Is it's hard to go and do that with with the fam, right? It's hard. When they have things to do and all that kind of stuff, you gotta balance all that as well.
And even when you do end up sort of like taking them as well, then it comes the cost of like having to have everybody there, have a hotel, go and have meals, all that kind of thing. And it does become a little mini vacation, doesn't it? I guess so.
Yeah, for sure.
Sean, when you go to Japan, definitely check out the Super Nintendo Land.
Yeah, that's cool, because I've
seen videos. And if you can, you should hook up with the YouTube, Kid Shorta Yukin, or he calls himself like Mad Panic Gaming.
Well, I didn't get a chance to hook up with him, but I did offer for a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours in Evercade, to abroad in Japan, Chris Broad. I think actually Evercade has been spoken about on that. So he's a British YouTuber, but he lives in Japan. He lives in, I think it's Sendai actually, up in the northern bit of Japan. So yeah, I need to meet up with him at some point and go, hello.
That's awesome, because like Namco is there, to be able to acquire more of those licenses and put out more of that goodness and
fulfill your insatiable need.
Yes.
Hey, I'm just happy that y'all got Capcom, and that's that's still incredible.
Pete is right in the chat. The Japanese market has always been about face to face, and there's a great video on IGN that was done by Joe Screbbles, which is about the Swedish distributor for Nintendo, which was basically the only distributor for Nintendo in Europe for many, many years, and how he blagged his way into basically getting that contract just because he saw Game & Watch in an electronics store somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember seeing that story.
Yeah. It's a really cool story. It's a really interesting one.
Absolutely. So what you've been playing? What have you been playing lately?
I've been playing Wario.
Okay.
On the Game Boy Advance on Switch Online, because that was a surprise drop, and I've been enjoying that. I've been playing some Tire Plan carts. Obviously, I've been testing C64 and Tire Plan a little bit as well, and getting my hands dirty with them. I've actually mostly been watching people play more than I have been playing myself, to be honest. Seeing you guys play, seeing you guys review, seeing Crow die multiple times. It's been quite a lot of fun.
That video is pretty cool.
I was just editing a video. I was like, I'm just gonna pull out every death and see what happens in a video. I was like, okay, I'll post it.
The only thing missing from that, Crow, was like your reactions.
Well, my reaction was laughing. I was like, it's funny, and it's not frustrating, because you can usually get right back to where you were in that game really quickly.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah. I was just saying that Retro Core. I think Retro Core, is he the guy that does the Battle of the Ports series? I think, where he looks
Oh
at
yes,
everything.
yeah. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, he does Battle of Ports. Yeah.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you, Sean. Because something that always comes up, or it's kind of like the white whale of modern retro, like with Paprim. If you like tried to get a hold of those guys, or I know the creator, that's kind of weird. Like, is he receptive?
We have, but I mean, with all of these things, it's always initial until somebody meets and talks, and because we've had COVID and then come out of it and been on all of these things with everything, you know. I don't think it's really progressed that far. I mean, we've had quite a lot of meetings lately about everything in general, really. I mean, because as you've already seen from the roadmap, this year is pretty stacked, and this year, and potentially a lot of the start of next year, we've kind of got ahead on and might already be done. So,
wow,
quite a lot of.
It's very
cool.
cool.
This year and next year. That's awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be room to maneuver about where things go, and what licenses present themselves at the right time and things like that. But we've basically got a plan of what we want to do, or what we can do for now over the next 18 months at least.
Very cool. I mean, it's good to know that that is in hand, or at least in process. I know that obviously during the pandemic it was hard to like keep all that stuff going, and it was neat to see everything just kind of work out anyway, right? Regardless of whether or not the whole world was going insane, really. Has that process been a little easier? Now, like, have you found it a little easier now that kind of like things are starting to return to normal?
Definitely a bit easier. I mean, mostly from the point of view of just being able to meet people, because there's so many people that we've met and we spoke to in real life, or like then haven't seen for ages. Like, even from a marketing perspective, like going to see Ian Higton in person, who was somebody I knew before the pandemic and before I worked at Blaze, and he now streams quite regularly a lot of Evercade stuff, and we're in with the in joke that apparently he owns an Evercade. Nobody knows, but yeah, but being able to sort of like see him at a show and show him what was coming under NDA, so show him like the IRM cart, show him all of these kind of bits and that, like, because it was good to get somebody who I know is out there like yourselves, promoting their reactions, promoting their thoughts on this, actually seeing them myself face to face, and seeing all of these people. So it is a lot easier and a lot better to get a lot of that kind of stuff done now. Everything is lifted to a certain degree, but yeah, it's easy, but it still needs the magic sauces, all those classic things to fall into place to make the great sandwich. So,
of course. So I heard April 1st we're gonna get Gremlin 3 collection. Yeah, I was like, you see what I did there?
I can't tell you what we have planned for April 1st, because
I can't wait.
I've suggested something. I don't know if it's possible, and if it happens, you're all gonna hate me.
I'm all about it. I'm all about a good April 1st thing. We get that in the family a lot, because that's actually my brother-in-law's birthday.
So me and your brother-in-law share a birthday.
Oh, awesome! Yeah.
I just expect you to troll the arcade community, and I'm looking forward to that. That's
yes, do it.
I don't need the excuse of April 1st to do that.
True. You do that on Discord as it is now.
I do it everywhere. Great. I do it on Discord. I do it on email. I do it on Twitter. Troll everybody.
I love that.
Yes. No, Karsten. No, you can't. No actual announcements on April 1st, please.
Wouldn't that
no real ones.
What?
That's happened too many times, and it's not gone well. For people.
What though? When you said about he might do something like that, like an SNK or Konami, and then like a collection everybody really wants, but it's an April Fool's. Oh, that would be horrible.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a Saturday. We're very, very keen on taking our weekends off. We're definitely not going to put an announcement on the Saturday. So it's definitely not going to be an announcement on April 1st.
Definitely not.
It's good. It's good to know though that you are hyped this year. I'm hyped too. It's going to be awesome. Just kind of like.
Of course, you're hyped. You've got the rest of the year without the hosting duties now. You can kick back. You can join Pete on the comfy sofa. Having done it.
That's right. Yeah, and start kicking back and playing games and doing all that kind of stuff. put on my host retirement hat a little bit.
It's all good. I'm so pumped, and I'm having like a new intro and everything like
that. Is
so
true.
I can't. Yeah. Rich has seen. I got the assets for the thumbnail. So yeah, I'm pumped. Yeah, and that's why I promised everybody it wouldn't be it's not just going to be a Retro KillDashNine.
Although there was one, we forgot actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw it.
It was like a half hour ago.
Actually, no. Okay, you know what? Okay,
We forgot.
I have a special one here for that, so I'll do that.
Okay, all right.
Retro KillDashNine!
Retro KillDashNine! Retro KillDashNine!
I am Retro KillDashNine! Retro KillDashNine!
Oh my god.
Guess
You know
what?
what? I'm starting to
now.
think like 9 is in like the German 9.
Yeah.
No.
It's always awkward
Well,
when I ask people to do that.
Well, there's your second channel, Ed. It could be Retro KillDashNo.
I love that.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Mm.
That's awesome. Well, that's cool. RMGB TV's got another birthday buddy.
There's a lot of us that are
awesome.
that are April 1st.
Yeah.
British radio personality and celebrity Chris Evans, I think, was April 1st.
That's cool.
I mean, Wikipedia it. There's loads of people.
Yeah. I'm 6 months later to the day. I'm October 1st. So yeah, again,
April 29th. So, I mean,
there we go. See? We have fun with it because we celebrate the half birthdays. We me and my brother-in-law, we always do something cool on each day, which is neat. So very neat.
Oh, kind of interesting comment from Jason. He says, "Sean, any chance you can drop the first letter of a new game coming this year?" I mean,
He said new name. He didn't say new game.
oh, new name. I misread.
Could I do that without spoiling one?
Yeah.
You could literally probably say any
Maybe.
letter and it'd be bound to be true eventually.
Yeah. Just use T and it's like the.
Well, I was thinking, do I say T? Because that could be one, but it could also be the. So yeah. I'm going to go with T. T, yeah, let's have T.
Nice.
I know that you did give a hint in Discord. You were saying that, like, on a collection, you were looking on eBay and you placed a bid on a game that's going to be on.
I did. I placed a bid on 2 games that are coming to Evercade this year, which you'll probably find out about shortly. But I only won one of them, so I can't really troll everybody with that yet. It would have been great, but
Nice.
Nice.
Karis, this is too random to confirm.
That's right.
Clues are always behind me, but unfortunately, all you can see behind me is my PSP collection, which has got way out of hand very quickly.
Nice.
And the fact that this year is the year that by the time you get the next cart, you won't be able to fit your Evercade collection on the standard size of an IKEA shelf. We are now too big for that IKEA shelf.
Ah, so we gotta get another. You guys gotta get another shelf.
Take your screenshots.
I already had to move
people.
it.
Analyze it. Take your screenshots.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool stuff, though.
Yeah.
I like those acoustic guitars in the back.
Yeah.
They don't get a lot of love. They should get some more love.
Is that a
I'm
bass?
gonna have to put in a shelf or start stacking on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to do something.
Yeah, there's an acoustic which I've had for probably nearly over 20 years, probably like 25 years.
Nice.
An electric bass, and there's a Fender Strat behind that as well. It's a trio stand. So yeah,
very cool. Yeah, I miss mine. It's good. It was always good to just kind of like fiddle around. By no means am I actually like a good player, but I like to mess around.
I mean that's what I say about video games as well. So
What's going on, Nick? Geeks with Cash in the house. What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, what's going on?
So yeah, apologies. I've come in and busted the party. What's next on your list of things?
Oh, so we were just messing around in the pre-show just to possibly start talking about games heaven forbid we actually do that on the show anymore.
Games? Evercade makes games?
And we talk about them in order. But yeah.
I know another. And can you give us any status on like the final OG firmware, or when like the VS will like be up to sync with the XP? I'm just curious about that.
There was a couple of hiccups that we had. So we sent the initial bit for internal testing, which is what's been going on with the final OG firmware, but it's hit a couple of snags. So it's come back out, being fixed, and it should be being delivered for beta testing, I think, within the next couple of weeks, so that people can try it out before we send it live. It's one of those things that when we say it's very difficult for us to bring stuff to the OG, a lot of it is because of the OG not being built for any of this. You know, it wasn't built with that in mind originally. The onboard memory of it prevents us from doing so many things, because we can't just load up all the features and all the updates, because then the OS becomes too big for the system. So then it just won't work. So we're still working on it, but it's at the point that it's nearly there. But the internal process is the OG, then the next VS, then all guns blazing towards EXP features, and then of course by that time we'll start getting to the point where VS and EXP will update monthly for Game of the Month.
That's right. Yeah.
That'll be great. Yeah.
It's very cool.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to start seeing those monthly drops again, because it makes it fun, because you're just it's cool to preview the cart, and I think now that we've all experienced it, at least for me, having the ability to play it for that month, and then for at least the first couple, not have any way to play it until you get the cart later on. It actually does make you miss it, and you really want the cart, which is cool. It's very neat.
Yeah, which I heard you guys haven't actually got yet, so I'm sorry to hear that. I mean,
it's all right.
To put into perspective what happened, obviously, Royal Mail got attacked. I mean, I can do that as well, Crow. It's fine.
Yeah. I have the special version.
Yes, you got the Pegasus version, so you got that from So the stock made it everywhere else if you weren't buying from Fun Stock. In the UK, we got a cyber attack on Royal Mail. We waited, I think, until the very death before we decided with them whether we use alternative couriers, which we have. What we didn't realize at the time, and this is why a lot of your stuff has been in Germany, is that one of those couriers decided to send it all to Germany to Deutsche Post in order to airmail it over to you guys. And Deutsche Post have also been having a lot of problems right now, which then has compounded this. So I think there's been a sort of a conglomeration of errors with everything in there, which is beyond our control. But we're gonna obviously email Funstock support if you still haven't received anything, and we'll investigate everything that we can with them, and make sure that everything works out fine. So
nice. Yeah, it was just a weird thing. I mean, I know that there's been a lot of things going on with Royal Mail in particular. There was like the whole strike thing, and then the cyber attack thing, and it's not amazing, but it's also like, what are you going to do, right? It'd be the same thing over here in the U.S. if something happened to USPS on a global, like a nationwide kind of thing, and lots of things must be grinding to a halt instead of us poor folk waiting for our plastic to play games on, right? So like I'm well aware that there's many more problems than that. But it is kind of sad, I want to be able to experience all that and then get the play. But
at least you can, if you do have a VS, you can still play Gelatinous, because that is still available, because we haven't taken it off yet. So
that's right.
I forgot to even check for that.
Yeah. Yep, it is still up there. So we had a couple other questions. Tales from the Junlands asking, what's your favorite genre, Sean?
I suppose it's got to be racing games, because I mean, pretty much everything up behind me is racing games, and I collect them, and that was my thing. But nice. I do have a bit of a soft spot for adventure games, certain RPG games. I did kind of promise myself that I wouldn't come on the Evercast again until Rich completed Golden Axe Warrior.
I'm so close.
Yeah,
so very close.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a visitor. Excuse me. Are you gonna come say hello on camera or no? No, you're just going to sniff around. You're going to sniff around. This is one of the new additions from last year. This is Jones.
Oh,
say hello to Jones.
Nice. Kitty's jumping in.
Yeah, one of the two. I thought about closing the door, but then I knew that they would just make lots of noise. So,
Nice.
So yeah, no, I'd say racing is probably my favorite, and then adventure afterwards. I mean, I'm massively into Elder Scrolls. I love Elder Scrolls Online and all of the mainline Elder Scrolls games. Quite like a lot of the RPG elements and stuff. I'm not really a massive JRPG fan, although I've leaned more to it in recent years because of retro, I guess. But
yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Then we got Ian here with the question. Once the next EXP update is out, will the new battery driver be included in it?
So I think every update, in any way that we can, it will be designed to help improve battery optimization, because it's one of those things that will just continue happening. You know, there's always more we can do to a certain point. We'll always try and get a little bit more out of it. So there will be some new battery stuff in there, but it will continue coming, because anything that we can do to make it better, we'll try and make it better. It's not going to be sort of like, that's fixed, next thing. We know there's always going to be optimization to have. So
nice. All right, awesome. So what do we say? Do we want to jump in and talk a little bit about some Morph Cat games?
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, that'd be kind of neat, right?
We've never done that with Sean here, so that'd
be neat. So yeah, let's jump in to some Morph Cat. So I'm saying, instead of actually doing our normal thing where we go, from left to right, and also because it's the only 3 that I have currently queued up, let's do the tertiary games and not do micro majors right now. Okay. So let's start with Bubble and talk about some Bubble. So
it's a game about a bubble.
It's a game about a bubble. I mean, this one's pretty neat, right? I found it interestingly frustrating at first, because I just I couldn't get the concept of trying to keep hold of the button down, to then it's like reverse jumping, right? You're holding down to let it go. And it got to me a little bit, but after you get used to it, it is pretty neat. It's a cool concept anyway.
Yes, and that right there. So I got the impression that this is like a love letter to Metroid. They're like, let's just take the ball and make a whole game about the thing. And I'm with you.
You're just the ball.
Yes. And when I played it, for the first 5 minutes, it took to get used to the controls, but it is that much fun. It's frustrating. I absolutely love this. I hope maybe we get a sequel or something.
Well, here's the thing: is that once you start getting used to the game, I still haven't really figured out the entire map, but there's a whole bunch of hidden ducks in the game, and there's several of them where I don't know where they are. But I do like how one of them was called Darkwing Duck.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. Yeah, it's just neat. It is a neat concept, and I like actually how they have the animation for the for the water. I mean, I'm not a programmer, and I don't know how that would how they would do that for just NES, but it's something that you don't normally see.
It's very tricky to get it that fluid, because obviously what you normally do is when you have sort of an animation, is basically a set of tiles, so it will go from animation to bit to bit to bit, a bit like a stop frame animation, but in the programming. So you'll basically just have this set that is the slow animation. So to have it that smooth and the amount of tiles that are in there to make it work is really, really good. I mean, it's odd because I know this is an NES game when it comes to the sort of what has been built on and everything else. I get real Game Gear vibes out of this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, kind of does feel like it.
I can see that.
It's probably the color palette.
I think it is, because that and a little bit of the sound, it just makes me feel like I think very much like the Sonic 2 port that was on the Game Gear. It gives me that kind of feel.
Yeah.
It must be the water, the running water, because that does look exactly like it does in those Game Gear Sonic games.
Yeah. But I love
that. Yeah. Another thing I want to say too that I like about this whole collection, a lot of these indie games, is if you played all this straight through, it's 30 minutes. But for me, like, I'm fine with that because I love the full experience of these indie games. They're shorter, but you can complete it, so you don't have to devote like hours of time, and it's just
I'm back.
great.
This also has like you don't have to do it the same way. There's quite a lot of replayability in this as well.
Yeah.
Well, also I could see people speed running this.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
to be perfectly honest, I think everything that Morphcat has done in some way has had some kind of eye on the speedrunning community. I mean, you're going to get onto another one which was done in Games Done Quick, I think, last year, and I think the record of it is absolutely ridiculously quick. But yeah, there is an element of that Games Done Quick kind of speedrunning style in all of these kind of games.
I wonder what the speed run record on this is.
That's good. You've actually got me running that as well. I'll have a quick
I'm
look.
gonna look that up.
Well, we had Google.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animations are done so well. Looking at this again, just from the way the bubble leaves to hitting the bells and the sound of, I think that's one of the things that really kept me like into it is the little touches they put on this game.
It's also not too punishing. Like the save points are frequent. It's not too aggressive in like how far back you end up going if you do make a mistake or anything like that. So yeah, it's a very good contained game, and yeah, if Morphcat ever do a sequel, I'd love to see that and play that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely check it out myself.
Maybe 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Dang!
Oh,
I was thinking
well,
Wait, that's version 1.1. Let's see version 2. Version
For
1.2. Yeah, version 1.2, the speedrun record is 3 minutes and 53 seconds.
That is nuts.
So I wonder what the difference is between version 1.1 and 1.2 is.
That's got to be a level or something, right?
Yeah.
At least, yeah. Or an extra add-on.
But yeah, a lot of people. There's at least 7 that are under 5 minutes.
That's
What
crazy.
hardware are they playing it on?
I'd imagine it will probably be emulator of NES or
Yeah,
or
usually
something.
for speedruns, it doesn't matter unless there's some significant difference between playing it on one platform over another.
No, I'm just curious, like if Evercade was listed for any.
No.
We're not yet. No. I mean, I've tried to get Evercade listed for a lot of things. So I've tried to get us on IMDb. So if you stream on Twitch or anything else like that, it comes up with the Evercade cart, and you can just select the cart as what you're now playing and things like that.
Oh,
It's
that's
just a
neat.
lot of admin.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
an awful lot of admin.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a duck.
Yucky.
nice.
That's the any percent. There's an all ducks one that is 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Popless is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And then getting all the ducks popless. There's only 3 entries here, and the fastest is 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
That's still pretty wild. I mean, we've been talking about Bubble for probably that amount of time, at least that amount of time for those shorter speed runs. But I mean, just even like watching the pace of the game and how you're playing it, it's like, how does someone even do that faster? Like, because it looks like you're just kind of just going through and getting exactly everything you need, and
Well,
moving
yeah,
on to the next screen.
You do know I edit these videos, right?
Well, yeah. But it's still like even clipping it all together, like that's it looks like you're doing exactly what you need to. It's like, how do you even do that faster? You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. I gotta watch some of those speedruns. But yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool to get like the Evercade community involved in doing speedruns and like getting all those like records and stuff like that. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's definitely something I think I say we're aware of. We're very obviously aware of it because
Yeah.
things like competition mode and stuff like that are designed specifically for this kind of feeling. Trying to get the speed running. I mean, it's just very much sort of getting the right games to do it with, and making sure it isn't just win from glitches like you always get with Super Mario. Whenever you see anybody try to speed run that, just constantly glitch based.
Yeah.
I actually
part
like
of-
those task lists.
Well, that's
the-
I mean, that's part of
that's,
speed running. Because some of those are tricks, they can be tough to do.
because watching those are just hilarious. Watching the game just get glitched all the way to the end.
For sure. So Pete, I know you're commenting in the chat, but you could like you know, what
Stupid. Yeah, I know Pete doesn't like this game.
No, I had to leave, so I missed the last 20 minutes.
okay.
Yeah, I had a phone call. So,
okay.
but yeah, no, yeah, carry on. Sean's
Just
not
I'm
giving
done
me
with
any
this.
information that I find good, so he's kind of being a little too tight-lipped there.
Like, I'm done with this bubble game.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
Sean, what's Funstock announcing next week for Evercade? Any teasers on that?
I believe you guys are right. It's going to be what's going to be included in the next bundle.
Oh, okay.
But you will get, and I will ask you guys here while you're here actually, because you will get if you do order from Funstock, you're more than likely going to get a survey soon about what kind of things you want to see next. We're doing a lot of these things for a year, and we always want to know what everybody's feedback is, because they come to us for approval with all of these things.
Sure.
And also at the same time, I kind of want to know. I mean, I know Pete wants a mug.
Yeah, I want a proper mug, not one of those little baby mugs. I want an actual
mug.
16-ounce mug.
Well, I mean, I can't remember if I said this before now, but I mean, we are limited as to what won't break in transit, I guess is probably our main.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that we haven't thought of an alternative way around that.
A stainless steel travel mug would be awesome.
Oh.
Proper, nice travel mug you can use going to work and travel.
That's
with
kind
your
of cool.
But my only wish list from Funstock is stop shipping my stuff to Germany before it comes to Canada. I don't know what's going on with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So I don't know if you heard that or missed it, but the reason it went to Germany is because we used a different courier with Funstock because of the Royal Mail strike, and they sent it to Deutsche Post to then get it out, and Deutsche Post have had issues as well.
Deutsche Post is slow as whole molasses, man. Canada Post is like lightning fast compared to them.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
Skeletrek
says, there it is. Yeah, they want a hoodie.
Widen down with the hoodie.
Want a hoodie.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
we might do something with that as well. I mean, and the main thing that sort of stops us doing clothing of that size is just the cost of it, really, because it costs a lot to get a lot of them in, and it costs a lot to ship them and stuff like that. Because then, I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about the shipping and stuff like that, but when you get to international, you get volume as opposed to anything else. So if you've got a big bag, it can be a bit of a pain when it's getting into that kind of thing. But
maybe like an official stand, maybe like a little plastic stand.
You played the whole video.
Yeah, I was about to say we must be getting close to the end. Because we
got it. It's awesome.
Does that put Crow on the top 10 of the speedrunning, though? That is the question.
This wouldn't count as a speedrun. This is all edited together.
Yeah, they would disqualify Crow.
Yeah, because Crow truly is not a very good gamer. He's just a really good editor.
Yeah, I'm a really good editor. I can make it look good.
Nice.
Right.
It's very cool. Jason Sire saying he said watch a guy beat Castlevania and then he asked for it in 10 minutes. Wasn't that didn't Summoning Salt do a thing on Castlevania?
Yeah,
he probably did. But
what?
That
That
one-
about Castlevania in 10 minutes? That's not possible.
I think that's probably not even the best.
No.
No, but it is though, because you find like with a lot of these
it
old.
is.
Well, the thing is, a lot of these old games are just like riddled with like bugs, and like if you hit the thing at the right spot, you can make other cool things, and it's like, but it's tricky though, right? Like it's not,
Well,
That's why I thought
to do
it's
that,
10 minutes and 45 seconds. That's the record.
I mean,
That's
you
what I
can
guess.
you can complete Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, and Far Cry 6, I think, in less than 10 minutes each game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
There is a trick. There is a trick to it, but you can do it.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. There's
exploit or exploits or bugs. Is that truly a speed run of the game? Like,
Yes.
Well, that's
wanna
why they have
see-
different categories. They have different categories where you can't exploit glitches. Like there's one here that's a speed run where you can't take any damage, and the record on that's 12 minutes and 23 seconds.
wow,
Those are the impressive ones. Like when you see people doing
Elden
a
Ring
no hit run on no hit Elden Ring runs and stuff. Yeah,
That's,
Like,
those are
I
just
took-
insane.
I took 78 hours to finish Elden Ring, and I probably killed 160 of the 350 bosses. And then to watch that dude do it without getting hit
Well, the people
demoralized me to the point where I'm selling
the
Elden
people
Ring.
that are at the top of these speed runs doing no damage, everything, they've probably played these games for thousands of hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy though, because as good as I got, even OP on monsters in that game, I still took damage. At least got hit once. Like, I don't know, it freaks me out. Like, I think it's a big. I think they're. I don't know. I think it's all a scam.
They're playing,
Well,
they're
you know
playing
what,
the
though?
games live. They're playing.
And you
the
know
games
what? That's
live
what I like
usually.
about like Carl Jobs is like in the Minecraft community. Like, there's people who will exploit that, like for cheating,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then they get
Oh,
caught.
yeah,
Like,
but then they get caught.
yeah. But I will say for the speedrunning community, it appears to be people like in their mid to late teens to early 20s. Like when you have a status of life where you can devote the time, your reflexes.
And you don't
like,
have arthritis in your hands.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I've seen a few older people that do more of the retro based ones, but I think
Yeah.
most of it is when you get to your kind of the PS1 era, like people doing Final Fantasy speedruns, and then into your GameCube eras and stuff. It is very much
Well, PlayStation
people
1,
under 30.
Sean's PlayStation 1 got to be impacted by load times, right? Do they take the load time out of the speed run?
They do. They do actually, because there was the one where it was like Super Mario, like on the Wii, and they determined like they would take out the load times for that because they determined it was random, like depending. Sometimes it would add like another like second or frame, and speedrunning, that's a lot. So it's weird though. I think like each community has like different variations of rules.
Yeah, they usually come to a consensus on what is acceptable, what they'll do.
Yeah, yeah, like the speed, like the one on someone did like a Mega Man 2. Like if you're playing the Japanese version, it's on the harder difficulty. Like you can use like auto fire because it doesn't like affect it too much. But yeah, it's fascinating.
That's one of the reasons why I think a lot of speedrunning is very split, especially if it's original hardware, especially on retro, because you've got PAL and NTSC, so you've got different refresh rates and a lot of things that are going on as well. So
also, I know for like Ocarina of Time that everybody will play the Japanese version just because the text dialogue boxes go by faster.
Yeah. If you want to see it,
if you're speedrunning it, you're not reading it, right?
Yeah. Well, if you don't need to read it, you probably played the game like 100 times.
But
check out the one that Summoning Salt did on Super Punch Out. That's amazing because that involves a lot of RNG.
Yeah.
And what was nuts about it is the guy who I don't know if he had the world record. He played it like on the Wii, and so because of that, there's like 1 or 2 frames of delay. And on like the final boss, like he had to guess like which way to block because of that frame delay. Like he couldn't.
People have gotten so good at that game that there's actually now a category for speed running that game blindfolded.
Wow, man!
Yes.
This whole like
no, Super Punch. I'm talking to the one for Super Nintendo.
Okay, well, Super Punch Out. I'm just but Punch Out still.
Yeah.
Play that game blindfolded.
Well, like Breath of the Wild is kind of built for that, right? You can go right to Ganon and kill him right away if you want, right?
Yeah. You can.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Like
Maybe
right
that's
from the
how
beginning
I'll
game,
finish
they'll
Breath of the
launch
Wild.
themselves.
Just go beat Ganon.
Yeah,
so ride a boulder all the way to the castle and beat Ganon in like 5 minutes.
I used to watch quite a lot of Seth Bling when I used to watch quite a lot of Minecraft, and he was a guy that used to do a lot of Super Mario World speed running, and he would show you how he goes about it and what he does, and you go through all the practice ones. So yeah, it is fascinating seeing people sort of go through the processes and methodology on a lot of it.
There's actually a bunch of speedrunning channels on Twitch where they'll just play random videos, it seems like. So there's specifically a task speedrunning channel that'll just play videos. And it's just crazy to have that running in the background. You'll look over like, what's going on?
Heck, I'm still just trying to beat Contra like in one game if I can, or without the cheat code.
So what's your next game of the 3? Yeah.
The next game is Space Ghost. I'm actually going to put this on. Have you guys rap for a couple minutes?
There we go. You came in really loud there for a second.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No
I'm gonna put this on. Have you guys rap for a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to figure out something's going on with sound and something out in the living room. I gotta go be tech support for my little one. So give me a second here.
I thought you said Space Ghost for a second.
Dude, for me, from the moment when I saw the trailer, the thing that I loved is this one truly is a love letter to Mega Man. It's like just from the way the spikes, the sounds, and everything. Like
it's the greatest Space Gull game ever made.
Well, that can't be argued. To me, it was more like a combination of Joust and I don't know.
Joust, Mega Man.
It's a little bit Mega Man, I think.
Yeah, but I love this game.
Look at the life bar, the sound.
It's one of my favorite games like I've played in a while. I love this game. Yeah, it's got like a little Flappy Bird kind of jousty kind of thing going on too. It's pretty cool.
Well, it's entirely Joust. Once you get later, where there's
Yeah.
other birds to fight, you do have to be above them. So it's a very much like Joust.
But
type
why
of-
is he blue? I don't get that. Skulls
He's a
aren't
bluebird.
blue.
He's a
Yeah.
bluebird. It's a space skull. They could be whatever color they need
Yeah,
to
I
be.
think they look
That
like
is
Mega
true.
Man. The colors.
But I would say not like Mega Man because you can't shoot.
no. But like those spikes, it's like so.
I think the aesthetic for me is the kind of reminds me of Mega Man on the NES. That's the aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic is more like Mega Man, but the way the gameplay is
Oh no, the gameplay's
Is
pure joust.
Joust,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flappy Bird kind of
Yeah.
those type of games. That one, you know, where you play as Abraham Lincoln. What's
yes,
that
the
game?
Justice
Justice Hero.
Duel.
Yeah.
Justice.
Yeah.
Oh, Justice was it Justice Duel? Justice Hero? Justice something?
Justice Hero.
Justice Hero.
Yeah.
Justice Hero.
Oh, one of them, yeah.
It was
But that
funny.
one,
That was interesting. I just didn't. The thing I didn't like about the game was that the backgrounds kind of bled in with all the sprites. But
yeah,
that
it
one-
was hard to see a lot of stuff. But I like the game though. It's one of my favorite games like that.
Yeah,
I
it was
like
interesting.
So this game, the fastest time of any percentage, so just running through it, is 5 minutes 58 seconds in speedrun.
Oh wow.
I'm sure they
And
can get that
this
down.
one is one of the things. If you do play it like more than once, you go, "Oh, actually, I reckon I could do that." And you probably
Yeah.
don't. You probably get to about 8 minutes. I think the quickest I've done it is 8 minute 20. I think maybe a little bit longer than that. But that's just like trying to just speed through it as quickly as possible. You know, not killing all the enemies unless I have to, and you know,
It's a
because
lot of
obviously
people.
you got the bit where you can't go through the like this bit where you can't go through the door until you've
Yes.
killed all the enemies. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably just fly past all the rooms.
Yeah,
you
like
don't
that.
have to- yeah. But yeah, even I got stuck a bunch of times because there's a lot of like me dying that I've edited out of this.
See, like this is like a game I would never have known about, played if it wasn't for the cave.
Mm.
Like, wouldn't have no idea about it.
And that's the thing with a lot of these games is that unless you're involved specifically in the community around them, I mean, I know all of you guys have probably spent quite a lot of time around, you know, the Atari Age forums and stuff like that. So you guys probably know quite a lot about, you know, the Atari homebrews, the Intellivision, the ColecoVision, and all those kind of things that come from that. In the same way, you've got the NES and the retro programmers and stuff like this. Unless you're in that community, it's very difficult to get there because, you know, nobody's got marketing budgets, nobody's got anything like that. You know, you never aren't going to know unless you're literally at the game jam that this is made at. You know, so yeah, it is great, and one of the good things that we can do with that you know, we're able to bring games like this to a wider audience, and you know, just get everybody playing them and having a good time with them.
See, I love this, and this way, you know, I was going to say less is more because I love that, and I feel like y'all took a good chance on this collection, and that it's not something like like an arcade where there's like 4 or 5 like heavy hitters. Like if people look at this, like Micro Mages, maybe like only one heavy hitter, and then there's other like indie games. But for me though, like I love that. Like I judge a collection on the overall experience. And so for me, like when this collection came, it was one of my favorite collections that came out that year because I wasn't overwhelmed with a bunch of like for me it was like the right amount, right? Even though like Bat Puncher you could beat like in 2 minutes, that was still a fun experience. Like I never even knew about that.
There's a lot of hidden stuff in that game.
And Bad Puncher.
In Bat Puncher, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's a demo.
Yeah.
They never intended to finish that. So
Someone
I don't know
needs
why
to.
it's a demo.
It is one of those weird things with that as well, because like this cart is probably one of the ones that we probably had some of the most fun inserts in with the box. So the cars, and when you scan them, it takes you to the band camps. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Mhm.
remember
soundtracks and all those things
Yeah.
as well. That
I like
those are really cool, really fun.
the Micro Mage one where it showed you how they made the game and made it
Yeah.
fit into the cartridge.
I love that video.
Yeah, that's really, really good. But like this, I mean, that's probably this is the one cartridge that's probably made with the VS very specifically in mind, you know, because when you look at Micro Mages,
Oh,
and
yes.
games like that, and the
4
way that it's multiplayer, yeah, and that is a game that, you know, you could play single player and you have a good time playing it, but
Mhm.
That's how I
it's
played it.
something else when you've got multiplayer, when you've got 4, like even 2 players, and you're trolling each other, just trying to. It's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's-
fun.
It's definitely one of those. I mean, this one though for me is super fun because it's kind of like the amalgamation of 2 games that I loved playing growing up, right? It's for me, when I see this, it's Mega Man and Joust. and it's like it's so much fun to just mess around and play this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely partly the color palette, definitely some of the level design and stuff that really gives it that kind of Mega Man feel as well. Like, I mean, it's not hiding from where its inspiration was from.
No, absolutely not. But it is really, really neat though. Like, and it's cool that some of these developers take those ideas and kind of like put them on their head. Like who would have thought, like, oh wait, it'd be really fun if you were playing a game that was kind of like a Mega Man game, but you couldn't shoot, but instead you had to jump around like you're doing things in Joust, and then do that, and then does that even work? Does that game idea even work? And it does. For me, it totally.
You know what, Rich? That's right. This game and Bob, it's difficult to make games where you can't attack like entertaining,
right?
Like good like this, yeah.
But you're attacking in this game.
Well, yeah, you're jumping on them.
You're jumping on, yeah.
There is also sort of like a level of, what we would have all done when we were younger playing a rental game in this. The length of this game is relatively short. It's got good replayability for the speedrunning and stuff like that. But it's very much one of those games that, you would have probably enjoyed this over a weekend. You'd have rented it.
Sure.
You'd got it. You'd have enjoyed it. You'd have learned its intricacies, and you'd have feel like you've achieved a lot out of what you had out of it. And I think there's something that, not to say that this wouldn't be a good game if it was longer or had other things in it, or had different levels, but would it be as uniquely fun? Probably not as fun as you're having with it at its current length. And I think there's something to be said with, we all look for great games because we're all RPG fans here. We'll go, oh yeah, we've got 60 to 80 hours in X or that game, but there is something else to be said for the pick up and play of, I can play this in 20 minutes and I've had a good time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that
I used to be the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Crow.
I was gonna say I don't think this type of game would have even like the style of game somebody may have come up with this idea, but it wouldn't have been a game you could beat in 20 minutes because they wouldn't want you renting the game and then not buying it.
Yeah, no, exactly. There would have been a much harsher difficulty.
They would have made it.
Yeah, there would have been lots of spinning blades.
No, I was going to say a couple of years ago, I was kind of like that. It was more about like replayability and like the quantity of the game. Now for me, it's about pick up and play. Exactly what you said, Sean. And for me, what I see the strength of the Evercade is kind of like having collections like this, where if you saw this game like for Steam on a couple bucks, like you probably wouldn't buy these by themselves. Like, but the fact that they're all bundled together in a nice collection, then that really adds to it. So like for me, like the indies, like the dual carts and like the arcades, I think are the strength of Evercade. I love all that.
Yeah, that's why I like the arcade collection so much, because the arcade collections are kind of like built in really short, fun experiences. Of course, they're meant to tons of quarters, but that's select and move on.
That's apart from Battle Lane Volume 5, because I rewatched Crow's video on Battle Lane Volume 5 the other day, and it's just like, oh yeah, that was just evil.
Yeah, I don't know why you put that game on the collection. I think
because we're evil. Because we're evil sometimes.
Hey, that video. I finished.
We're paying money for this.
It was all right though.
Well, actually, no. I take that back. I finished the game because I didn't finish the game because I made it to the end and I locked myself out of beating the game because I ran out of missiles I needed to beat the game, and that's why I ranked it as low as I did. It's like, hey, they put me in a point where I couldn't finish the game.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right. So, just before we run too long, why don't we switch over to the last game and talk about that real quick? It's Super Bat Puncher demo. But right before I do that, shout out back to you, Axel. Again, brother, I hope everything is all good. Hope everything was wound up being all right. And anytime, 100% anytime. So, but all right, cool. Let's go to Super Bat Puncher demo. This one is it's one of those like just wildness. It's fun to see people play around with characters, and
there's your Mega Man hint again there, 21XX.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Earth is invaded by explosive space spats.
You know, it's just so awesome to see people like have that much fun in creating things, and then to have your characters like, you know what, what's the weapon? Oh, I know, it's a giant like boxing glove. And it's like, okay, that's
Hey guys, can I jump in? I've got to go because I got my son's soccer match. So catch you all next week on
all right,
on the new channel.
Cool, buddy.
Everybody have a great day. Sean, thanks for joining as always and keeping us entertained. But bye, everyone.
All right, see you, Pete.
Catch you later.
Out of all the games in this collection, I've actually heard of this one before because I remember when it came out, people were talking about this one a lot. So I kind of forgot about it until it was on this collection. I was, oh yeah, and I finally get to play this game because I forgot about it. But yeah, it's a pretty fun mechanic to go run around, jump, and punch bats with a giant boxing glove.
Yes.
This game is pure. This game is also pure nostalgia, like it's unique. But so what's interesting about this one is you hear that it's short, and it was the only game of one of the games that's short. When you get to the end, where I actually kind of feel sad, like that's it. I want more. Like I wish someone would run with it. But at the same time, though, I'm so glad though, Sean, that you guys included this. Just kind of like threw that in here, and feel free to do that. Like if there's other like little things like this, I think it's fine. I know maybe some people in the community don't like that, but I'm like, hey, if it's a neat little experience like this. Like I see it as a bonus, right? Like when you look at it, you're mainly getting this cart for like micro mages and the 2 other games. If there's other little things like this,
hey, guess what? There's speed run records on this too.
Nice. I'm going to guess that the speed run on this is somewhere between 4 minutes 25 and 4 minutes 50.
Actually, it's higher than I thought it would be. It's actually 6 minutes flat.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's any percent. I don't know what special run means, but special run is 12 minutes and 10 seconds.
That's got to be killing every single thing, maybe, or something.
Yeah, I'm
collecting every coin or something like that, maybe. But it's just the thing, like, I mean, like the main reason a lot of people were a bit confused with the Morph Cat collection is because this has the word demo in it. And it is basically a full game, but that's why we said it was 3 games plus 2 bonus.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, like, you knew about this game, but you hadn't played it because you hadn't got it. And it's like we were saying about bringing light to these kind of games. A lot of people would have only ever played these games if they had heard about them from downloading a ROM from the website, from a forum, from any of these things. Having the Evercade and it being on a cart gives you something to put into it, to play it onto a TV, get some kind of semblance of how the gaming would have been with this if it was out at the time and things like that, or as you play on the EXP or the OG handheld. So there's something about being able to bring these games to a bigger light because of the fact that they're just on a device as opposed to just available online and then you load them up on anything or anything like that. It's just really cool. And then the length doesn't really matter after that point, or that it's a demo, because you're playing it in a good way.
Yeah, and we get a cool little booklet and a physical copy, and that's when I refer to it. I kind of call it like the Evercade experience. Like it's the whole thing. Just like you said, like discovery is a big part of it. An easy plug and play way to play it, and then this is. Oh, and the music for this is incredible too. Like I love.
Yeah, I love a good trip to the soundtrack, and that's for sure. This got the beats for sure.
It took me a while to find out what the rules of the categories were, but the goal of the special run is after finishing the game's any percent, you finish the game with the special item you receive in the secret area.
Oh. Now that intrigues me.
There's a secret item that I never even found.
So there's the secret run is a double run, effectively.
Yeah, it seems like it. That's why it's twice as long as the 6-minute run. Yeah,
that makes sense.
It's technically a new game plus run.
Yeah, so I guess you have to play through twice and find the secret area, get a hidden item.
Yeah, for sure. And
which somebody kind of alluded to in a comment on one of my videos. They commented something about the secret area. It's like I knew I was missing something. I just didn't know what it was. Because I played through this a couple times, but every time I played through it, I reset the game.
Oh, got it.
I see. Yeah.
Well, now I'm intrigued. I got to play it later on to find out what the secret item is.
When you punch the glove off the wall and he goes rolling, I thought that was a clever mechanic. There's a lot of cool stuff they did with this boxing glove. Like that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really neat.
It's the bit as well that, again, like we were saying, like when you had games when you were young that you would rent, when you finally work out how they work and you do that for the first time, you're like, yeah,
for sure. Oh man, it's totally a lot of fun. I mean, this was, I guess, when I first heard of the Morphcat collection. I knew of Micromages and I knew that it was like a really good game. But seeing the amount of other titles that were on the cartridge, like it was one of those where I took a look and at very first, I was like, all right, yeah, maybe it'll be okay. But wound up being surprised by I pretty much every single one of the games that are on the collection, and I wound up having a lot of fun. Much like Indie Heroes, like it's just things that are unexpected that you wind up having a really good time with, it's why I like to put this cartridge in, and continue to revisit it. It's very, very, very cool.
Yes. So what I find to be interesting, Shawnee, you can tell me if this was a kind of y'all's marketing strategy, kind of like how I got into the Evercade. Initially, it was like for the nostalgia, like not gonna lie, like the Namco collections, the Atari, like that drew me. Sorry, my phone there. That drew me into. But then over time, like then for me, then it was about discovery, and it was like this. And I think it's almost kind of like you're training us to like, hey, to get into like, hey, there's these other cool indie games that are out there. And so now it's kind of like it's flown the opposite. Like now, like I like the indie and the arcade games more.
I think there's a good balance of everything, and one of the things that we do actively market, because we'd be stupid not to, is nostalgia.
Yeah.
Sure.
The way we look at Evercade is that it is the classic gaming experience. You've got the manual, the cartridge, you got the box, the experience of unboxing it, going through it, and all those things. That's what we do. And at the same time, there was a part of that which, not to console wall it, but you felt a part of something when you had your collection of Mega Drive games or your collection of Genesis games or NES games or whatever. You felt you belonged to a certain subsect of gaming that was yours, and you had other friends around it. And the discoverability that Evercade brings with a lot of their indie games that we get in there, like Indie Heroes, the Mega Cat games, Morph Cat games, even the hidden games that we got on the system as well that are from other people, you get that feeling like, oh yeah, do you know what? I kind of belong to something that I know about and nobody else knows about, but I can kind of be a little bit around it because I've got access to this, and I can say, oh yeah, this is great. I have this game, and this game's great. And there is a lot of that in all gaming, to be perfectly honest. But it's really fun with Evercade because you do get really good fun indie games like this.
For sure.
Yeah. But I think in a way too that I like how y'all like plan for the future, because let's say like 5-10 years down the road, I mean at some point like maybe it's like, hey, we've acquired like, let's say like all like the licenses that we can get from like main from like the main people, like main publishers and all that, but it's like stuff like this is like infinite. So I think it's also kind of great that you branched out and also prepared people that this is the route that Evercade goes to, and then it gives options for everybody, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the way I look at a lot of these games is that Evercade is very much the vehicle. One of the great things about these games, or all the great things about these games, is nothing to do with Evercade, apart from the fact that we have them and you can play them on Evercade very, very easily. The games themselves are the things that hold up and stand up, and they're a lot of fun, and that's what we try to highlight there. I know we do quite a lot of curation when it comes to all of our other games, but of course, when it comes to indie games, there is a bit of what can we get, what's available, and also what is fun and good to play. And I think we do a good job of curation in that, because there's loads of homebrew and indie games out there, and we try to bring the best ones we can. And like you say, the well is very deep for a lot of that. So that's why we're going to have an Indie Heroes 3. It's why we're probably more than likely going to have an Indie Heroes 4.
Oh yeah, I see that being a permanent series, and I think you even hinted somewhere in Discord. You said that like it's not limited to the Red collection. Like it could just be like a computer collection. It could be an arcade. Like who knows, right? Like I love that. Like it's the possibilities.
I'll say it's unlikely to be an arcade collection unless somebody starts doing main boards that isn't M2. So I think they're the only people that have done any kind of like Jammer board remakes or anything like that in recent times. But computer. I mean, how many homebrew games are there on Amiga? I mean, Amiga. I mean, the entire scene about Amiga has been homebrew and computer club kind of stuff. So
It's,
I would
it's
just
over-
imagine the tricky thing is like the licensing with that, like who to contact, what's public domain, so I understand, like, you got to be careful and make sure that you have
a little bit. I mean, a lot of this we just speak to the people who made it, because they're more often than not the owners, and then we can say, hey, would you like us to provide you some money and publish you on our console? And they're like, yes, please, thank you very much. So in some ways it's actually a lot simpler than a lot of other things.
That's good to hear.
It is funny you say that you originally got into us, with the Atari and the Namco, and I do remember you going for the Namco, but Atari 1 has one of the quickest speedrun games you can ever complete.
Which one is it?
Adventure. You can do Adventure in under 20 seconds.
Yeah,
That's true.
I couldn't remember which games were on which collection.
yeah.
I've almost done it in just under 30 seconds.
But that would have to be the very easiest.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, and you did say that the collection 3 that we're getting, like, it's not Indie Heroes 3, it's something else, right?
Oh no, I said there was Indie Heroes 3, and you said yes. Indie Heroes is going to be the first collection 3, and I said it is a collection 3, but it's not going to be the first collection.
The first collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I jumped on it because I was like, oh, what's the first one we knew about? Because we don't know any of the other ones that say 3.
You see, you think you're clever, but I might have an answer for everything,
I know you do. I try.
Isn't Game 3 in Adventure more difficult than Game 2?
I think so.
I'm not sure if it's more
curious
difficult
why the
or if it's
speed
more...
run of Game 3 is a lot quicker than the speedrun from Game 2.
I think Game 3 might have shorter levels, but it has the same kind of haunted house style blackout around it, doesn't it? But I think that maybe.
I was never a big fan of Adventure. As many times as I've tried to play it, I can't really get into it.
I love that as a kid. What I thought was interesting is that glitch where it shows the credit. Like, I remember, like, I was one of those people that accidentally like found that, had no clue what it was, and then seeing later, I was like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I don't actually go back and play that very often, but every once in a while I'll go in and play that. Yes. Hey, what's up, Tim? Yeah, it's absolutely fun. And this one is a really cool one. And and just like Bubble, it looks like we're like right there, aren't we?
Yeah, this is the end.
We went through that whole game. Which is pretty neat.
the whole demo.
Well, the whole demo. Yeah.
There's only 2 bosses in this game.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, this is cool and it's fun and quirky and cute and all of the fun adjectives I can hurl at this one. It's neat.
Yeah, but I can see how this one, like, the shorter the game is, the more fun it can be to go back and see how fast you can complete it. Because the people that are crazy are the ones that are playing like RPGs that take hours and hours and hours to complete. They're speed running it. Oh, the best time is like 40 hours. It's like, okay.
They're different experiences, and then score chases, of course, are always fun, like your Pac-Mans and missile commands and all that.
For sure,
and all that good stuff.
So, but so going back through some comments in there. Axel saying he's 80% there on Evercade. So you got to keep coming back to Evercast, man, so that we could get you that extra 20%. You get yourself one of these things, because I think it's super fun. It's super fun.
So the thing, I think at the end of the day, kind of like, if I had to say the one thing that sold me on it, and I keep saying this, is like Evercade has kept retro gaming. It's kept gaming fun and entertaining for me, because I hate, like, over the years, like, I don't know if it's my shorter attention span, but it's difficult for me to get into games and get into things. So like,
remember when we did the
I love the whole hype around
the 5-minute challenge, like, see how high of a score you could get in 5 minutes. I think it'd be kind of cool if that was actually built into the system.
That would be cool.
If you had leaderboards and you could, like, you have time and you could, but then for the games that don't have scoring, you could switch it up and see how far you can get in 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that without spoiling a lot of the technical roadmap that we've got coming for this year. And yes, there's another roadmap that we're not releasing publicly, but there is a technical roadmap of all the features that we want to bring. That kind of thing is in there. We always look at how we can bring some kind of exciting element into the console. Is it going to be, adding a countdown timer, a timer that counts up, all of those kind of things. Leaderboards, again, one of those things, whether it is something that we implement and then we just keep it to arcade so that, you don't end up in like Atari loops all the time, getting impossible scores and all those kind of things. Who knows? Because I mean, it's one of the things with sort of like leaderboards is that, we kind of, I suppose with hindsight, look back on leaderboards because we were all arcade people. But if you were to play console games, your leaderboard was basically your house. It's kind of not much point. Like there aren't many games, so there isn't really much point because as soon as you turn them off, it goes out of the memory. So
that's why they had the note section in the back of the book that you're supposed to write down.
But see, I think that's fine because even like iArcade, they don't have not all their games have online leaderboard. I think it's fine, to start like, hey, we've this game here. There's an online leaderboard. I think that's fine to take selective games and to do that, and over time grow the games that are appropriate. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, arcade is obviously the most natural because
yes,
it's what is built on, really, isn't it? It's
sure.
It's the arcade bragging rights. So yeah, I mean, these are all things we all look at. I mean, a lot of it is down to development time, resource time, and making sure that we can get them all working properly. And now that we've got a good delivery method with the EXP, that we can push those updates and those hardwares, and we got the system size to be able to do it. It makes thinking and implementing a lot of these things a lot easier. Easier.
I'll tell you the one thing I kind of wish that was in the VS is a controller diagnostic tool. Now, I know there is one already in there, but you have to hit the buttons in the order in which they're laid out. But I kind of wish it would just show which button I'm hitting.
I see what you mean.
I think there is a controller diagnostic tool.
No, there is.
Shows that actually as well.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Because there's one for the OG handheld, which I think might be on Evercade.info, and I think it's the same.
Well, yes, it is. It's L1, R1, X, and Y at the same time on the controller screen. It's the same on the EXP and the VS, but both of them, it's basically saying hit up, hit down, hit left, hit right. You have to hit all the buttons. It's showing.
So it's doing it like the controller.
Yeah, I kind of wish it would just show which button I'm hitting.
That was my fault. I thought that did there. Maybe that's something we can patch in if it's
because especially for the VS, depending on what controller you have plugged in, it remaps based on what you've programmed before. So if I don't remember what buttons I programmed that controller for, it would be helpful just to go in and hit the buttons to see where they're mapped.
I mean, that's going to be a little bit easier once we get per game button mapping out. So
yes,
a lot easier.
The other thing, not to change that, I want to say real quick, Sean. I know when I like made that whole video, kind of like saying, hey, there's no update. Like that was just me like expressing. I didn't mean to like put you in a corner. Like the community blew that up. Like that was just me, just like saying like how I was just being honest how I felt. So that was not my intention at all.
You didn't put me in a corner. Nobody put us in a corner. But what was very lucky is that we were ready to announce.
Okay, good.
So what actually happened is you weren't actually going to know that C64 and Toe Plan were coming until this week. So the original announce date would have been this week. Unfortunately, a retailer went live far too early, and it was at the time of day where we might not have been able to get a hold of them to get it down in time. So we went, you know what? We're ready. We're own it. Out. And therefore we released it. It unfortunately coincided the day after you made that video.
Good,
then your next video went, they must have heard me.
Guilty. Some people are like, way to go to bully Sean. I'm like, no. Like that wasn't my intent, guys. I just wanted to tell you how I felt.
He's the one that leaked it to begin with.
Okay, good. So yeah, no,
nice.
I'm glad. And then of course, then you saw my reactions. Like that was just awesome to.
I did see your reaction. You were far more excited for Tower Plan than you were C64.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this division now. I'm gonna start this. I'm on the Evercast. You as the next host are going to be the arcade boy, and Crow's going to be like, don't forget C64. Don't forget my baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I played a lot of those Epics games before. The other ones I'm not so familiar with, but the Epics games, it's like, but you have to answer. We're Summon games too. You got all the other games.
To go back to my earlier point, then just because Indie Heroes Free is named collection free does not mean that it is the first collection free. But that does not necessarily mean that C64 Free is also the first collection free, but there may well be one. And I know there's a few people that have said, "Oh, what games? Why haven't you done these games? Why haven't you done that?" Well, there's a lot of C64 games out there, so you know.
Yeah, there are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It
And
depends
then
on who's publishing them, I suppose, too.
Only because the community says this, but I mean, as far as this time, like as being physical, like you all like obviously have like no plan, like you're all staying physical. There's no plans. I have like an actual digital store. While you may have like games in the firmware. There's no plan.
No, I mean, whenever we bring anything that's built into the device, it's always seen as a bonus. So Capcom was seen as a bonus. We would have had it as a cartridge, like we said before, but there was just no way to do it at the time, and the opportunity to bring it as a bonus was too good to pass up.
Yeah.
We're all about the classic. We're all about physical. We're all about the nostalgic gaming experience. So as far as Evercade is, and as far as Evercade's brand and ethos and the way that we're doing things, digital is bonus only. It's not part of the core makeup. We're never going to have a digital store. We're certainly not going to involve ourselves in being a digital publisher in that way, because that's a whole nother nightmare that I have to work out from a logistic point of view.
That's what, because like the Steam Deck already does that. And like Evercade is special. Like it needs to be the device that doesn't do it. But every now and then people will bring it up in the community. I'm like, no. That's Evercade's vision is to be old school, to be cartridges. Even if times get difficult where it takes longer to get stuff, we're still going to be physical. You know, that's what we want.
I mean, there is definitely a hole in the market for that, which the Switch mostly addresses, I think, but it obviously doesn't address it enough because people are still asking for it. You know, they're asking for that kind of Wii Virtual Console style. I want to download these games and have them on the device kind of thing. And like people still want to buy and play these games. You know, there's streaming options, there's physical options like us, there's digital options like the Switch and the Xbox consoles. But there is obviously a hole of some kind in the market there that people are wanting to buy it. It's just one of those things of having to then do those digital store rights, get those kind of things, get the right amount of investment into it, and then get enough sales out of it that the Switch is like, what is it now, the third biggest console on earth in history?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Just go with the Switch. It just makes it so much more easy for that kind of thing. And
exactly, and you don't want to be a Switch, or you don't want to be a Steam Deck, and I love that, and that's why there is that market. But the other thing too, don't forget, is all the games we get on Evercade are complete, because like some games on the Switch, like you don't get, are too big. So that's the other important thing, is like when you have that cart, you've got it. As long as you own that physical cart, you've got the game. You can pop it in. You don't have to worry about any nonsense DRM or any of that other.
Yeah. I think it is interesting sort of seeing a lot of this, because obviously we're not doing any Evercade console hardware this year as like a new release. You know, we've had a new piece of console hardware every year, and this is the first year we're not doing it for Evercade. So the focus on the Evercade side of things is very much going to be the games, the carts, making sure that we've got all that kind of thing going. But at the same time, it is interesting to see sort of where people go next to the handheld, and I think we've picked a good year to kind of not release a handheld, because you've got a bit of a technology stop at the moment where a lot of the devices and a lot of the kind of chips that we use are kind of stuck in this at most 32-bit zone of where we're at the moment as well. There isn't anything that goes bigger or more graphical powerful without needing some kind of 3D acceleration. And then you're getting, what happened was that sort of 32-bit, 16-bit, 8-bit started getting smaller and smaller and smaller devices until you got to very, very mini kind of playing devices, these kind of things. And now it seems to be going the opposite, because you've got Steam Deck and it's huge, and you've got all of these other devices which are either cloud devices or very similar sort of mini PC. So it seems like the market for small handhelds is now disappearing, and now they're getting bigger and bigger. And it could be a point where we hit, 2025, 2026, where the technology is going to be there to do more powerful systems. That doing a bigger handheld with a bigger screen is going to be more in vogue within the people that are buying it and stuff. So it's an interesting time to sort of, I say, sit on the sidelines. We're Evercade. We don't sit on the sidelines. We kind of make our own sideline. And go, it's going to be interesting to sort of sit back and see what's happening next.
Very neat.
Awesome.
Very
I
neat.
love it. I love it.
So I want to say thank you to Kyorge Games for being the first time ever during a live stream becoming a member of the Good Times Club. Thank you, man.
It must be Sean.
All sorts of fun things happening over here at Bacon Ice Cream Productions, and more things to come. So thank you so much.
That's what I've got to ask you. What is next after Golden Axe Warrior?
Oh, so Golden Axe Warrior has been a very, very long experiment. One, to see if people would tolerate me actually playing a game for that long, and actually literally going through step by step and kind of really exploring the process of completing a game and stumbling along the way because I'm not the best gamer, right? And overwhelmingly, it seems to be that people are actually down with that. So, so that will continue. And Sean, you might be pleased to hear that the next set of games, I am going straight into that Evercade library, and I'm pulling out all sorts of fun stuff. And it will be a series, and we'll have a name and a logo and all sorts of fun stuff. So that is coming soon. But
there was part of me there that thought you were going to say Axe Battler. You were just going to go straight to the Game Gear version.
I know.
I would have loved to do that, but without some kind of like weird emulation thing, like I can't. My Retron doesn't play it. I have the game. My Retron won't read it.
You're going to get a tail in your camera in this area.
I went and got. Oh, nice. Very cool.
Say hello, Bankman. Say hello to the lovely people of the internet.
Oh, hello. I went and got another. Handheld, and that didn't work because I couldn't HDMI out. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Well, I got to figure something out.
Rich,
but
check this out.
Oh, Axel!
You got your first super chat.
Oh, brother. Come on, man. Why do you know that super chat came out of
that makes Axel only 82% now. We dropped him 3% out of $5.
Oh, I gotta ship it back to you. I gotta ship it back to you so you can get it, man.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You were awesome, and thank you for actually being literally the first one to hit that button.
Yeah. I think before we do wrap things up, I think we do have one last question because I'm curious. Ian Hobbies asked. He said he's asking. He said after the Capcom games were announced, he said, "Were there any immediate contact from new publishers?"
I wouldn't say the word immediate. There were definitely contacts from publishers. I mean, it's actually like because obviously we've been in the industry a while through people. We've known each other. Like the amount of people that sort of came to us or sent me an email after the theft, after Capcom was and that sort of thing. But just people that are in the industry and have been in the industry for a long time that work for big publishers, like people we'd never be able to license because they just don't do anything retro. But they were like, "Oh, I love your products, and this is really great, thank you, and this is awesome and awesome." And you see that resonating across everything. Like people who have discovered us from Capcom now being available is growing massively, and the interest out there is so big. And I think it's at a time where if we'd have put something like Capcom on the DS, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal because it's all on console systems and stuff like that anyway. And even though a lot of these arcade games are on the Switch through Capcom Arcade Stadium, which is still available, there's just something about having them there and having them done, and then it just sort of opened that up to a lot more things. So we did get some. Obviously, can't tell you who. But,
of course.
I'll be honest. It was people that we would have worked with anyway. And it is interesting to sort of see previous conversations that we've had reopen again because it makes people remember that we exist. So
that's cool though.
Yeah. That's a great. I'd bring that up because that's the biggest thing. I know that because there's some controversy why it was not a cart, and it's like, listen, be happy we're getting them. This is going to open doors. This is huge. It doesn't mean the digital. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like. So that's like this was an awesome thing and an awesome natural evolution for Evercade. So that's.
I mean, from the marketing point of view, I'm happy for all controversy. To quote the great Eric Bischoff, controversy creates cash.
That's it.
Well, there you go.
Sorry, that's a very niche wrestling reference for some people out there, and I know there's a lot of wrestling fans on the Discord that will appreciate that reference. So
that's it.
That's awesome.
That's for you. So. Renovation actually got quite a lot of people on board. More so than I kind of expected. And I mean, obviously, because it was such a big name in America, especially. But it was not as big a name here because they were never really released. I mean, we
No.
sort of knew of Guy Ares because of the silly adverts that were in magazines and stuff like that. We knew about it through osmosis stuff, but we didn't really get it outside of import. So yeah, it's been good to sort of see that happen.
That guy that there was in the ads, he actually was just a game tester for a renovation, I think.
That's awesome.
It was just so cool. The QA guys, yeah.
So that's an interesting question. While we're on the Capcom 2, is there enough space? If y'all were to have like a second collection, I think he's saying, or would it have to be a cart?
I think we would rather have it as a cart if it was coming to Evercade. I don't think there'd be much, unless we just added more on top of what was there and offered it to everybody. I don't think there'd be much benefit in us doing another built-in set of different Capcom games on another device. I think that'd be pretty silly for an Evercade device. But you never know. They may well offer us some more. They may well offer us extensions on contracts and things like that. And these things can be addressed. And the good thing is that we have our name and our foot in the door in this company now, and a lot of other companies that are there. So, one of the things that we're really good at, I guess, is making retro game stuff. It's and Evercade is one of the things that we've made. So it's great to see that these people are sort of recognizing us, recognizing our ability, recognizing that we can do it justice. And, hopefully that's a big wave to everybody else that's in the space, if they've been with us before or just interested in seeing us to come there. And that's both from the business side, from the trade side of getting it into more shops and getting more people like yourselves and everybody online looking at it. I mean, it's kind of weird. So obviously I look at a lot of YouTube, and that's why I now have glasses. But it's one of the things that the reviews and the amount of coverage that has come from Evercade EXP releasing has been phenomenal. Like before even Evercade EXP release, we know we were responsible for well over 1 million hours of viewed footage of Evercade across various different things, and that includes Crow's Let's Play videos as well. But since EXP release, there's so many more new people coming, not just, the people that were reviewing it and people like yourselves who are playing it and stuff. There's loads of new people that are doing their own unboxings and doing their own things. And the amount of, like, the word of Evercade is very obviously spread a lot larger. And that's, I mean, I'll be honest, it's one of the reasons the EXP is the way it is. It's to help grow Evercade, is to help grow that into people's hands, get them playing a bit more, and
for sure,
advertise all these that we've got. And
Uh-oh. I got Skeletrix putting me on the spot, and he's like still waiting. Okay, let me.
He's still waiting on that review.
It was a good review, and without spoiling too much, Crow's review did give us an idea.
Oh, nice.
For Alwa's Awakening and Cathedral.
The review of that gave us an idea for something that we might try and make happen in the near future as a bonus. I
have to remember what I said.
Everyone's gonna go check out that vid now.
I mean, you should anyway.
Yes,
you should anyway,
for sure.
To see exactly which tier you think Crow is putting those in. I mean, we all know, but
I know that. Yeah.
I know that as well.
For sure.
It was quite interesting to see you move Pico 2 down, because you were just like, I know it belongs there, but I just want them to be in line.
Well, no, I want to evenly distribute them. So that's how I want to have that.
So you've basically gone, this wasn't as good as I remember it now, but bye.
Well, it's not necessarily that. It's the order. Okay. And then, if there's 5 like lines, then there should be an even amount of games on each line. So if one goes at the top, then one has to go to drop down, and then the next one has to drop down. That's just the way I'm doing it. And then I did have a scoring system, and now I've added in an element to that, to where I could just arbitrarily give extra points to cartridges. That's how I was able to put that one where I put it.
I know that. I don't care about American football, but Chiefs, Eagles, do you care? I don't
know. Do I care? I mean, I care in so much as a Dolphins fan, we're never going to win it ever again. But at the same kind of time, I don't know. I'd like to see KC do it. I got nothing against the Eagles. Okay. I know you and Rich there, like, because Is that Eagles or is that a Jets?
That's a Jet. I think that's a Jets.
That's a Jets green, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Jets jersey. But yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit. One of my first job before I got into games as a games writer, I was an American sports writer. So I do know quite a bit about it, but I've been sort of out of the loop when it comes to who the players are, who's in the draft. The only thing I know for sure is that Tom Brady's tripled his career earnings with one contract with the broadcaster.
Yeah. Yes.
See, we're making an impact, and
I think I might have an idea now that I'm thinking about it. Is it something about exclusive content for games on the Evercade?
It might be. Well, it's not exclusive content, but there might be something that we might sneak in as a bonus that is content that was created. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was something in not a major thing, but just a minor thing in Cathedral that I don't think was in any other version. Yeah.
There was, yeah. No, we'll try to bring something interesting, because one of the things that we want to do this year is bring more to like the secret menu in both of those consoles, more bonuses and stuff like that. So, and you gave us an idea in there. So yeah, hopefully we'll see that happen.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So, man, this was
awesome.
Close to the record. It's not the record as long as Evercast ever. But the natives are getting restless out in the living room. So I must make sure that I go and tend to my young ones very soon. But as always, we got final thoughts. Anyone else got something that you need to plug, say hi to, or anything else before we head out? Let's start with you, Ed.
So yeah, if Indie Heroes 2 magically arrives, I'll definitely be covering that. Otherwise, I have a few other things in mind.
Nice.
I talked about this before, but I was going to say too that we have to have like Sean come on, calling on retro gamers to like not talk about Evercade, but everything else.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one. I mean,
that would be cool.
Do it on a different day though, because we can't have Sean at 3:00 in the morning.
That's what I was going to say.
On the show.
Well, maybe there's a potential of one in person if I do end up in your time zone. So you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like
if he was at too many games, and oh my god.
Oh, that could be very cool. Well,
I mean,
we'll talk about that.
I mean, I'm gonna say it for you, Ed, because I know Richard say it as well. You should go subscribe to the Evercade Effect, otherwise you won't see this show next week.
Yes, that's a huge thing.
The torch is literally getting passed, and I'll just use this Katie.
Of course. The big.
Just out of curiosity, since they're bringing up Cathedral, did you get past that boss?
No, not me.
The sarcophagus boss.
I'm still working on it. I gotta put some more. I gotta put some more time into that. But yeah, getting close. I can get where he's on third life, and then everything goes all crazy. Like but that's what I like about that game is you gotta figure out the patterns.
For sure. All right, Crow. What do you got on tap?
Oh, nothing really. I'm starting to play Irem Arcade 1. So I played a bunch of Moon Patrol the other day without realizing the game doesn't end. Okay, so. I was like, wait a minute. I get to the certain point. I was like, does this game have an ending? Am I repeating the same levels again?
There was that one shooter like P-47 that did that. Yeah.
There was. And then when I was like, wait a minute, I'm experiencing deja vu here. But I'm also trying to play through this game, Wonderling DX, which is a very bizarre game. It's like you're playing, as an allegory, like if you're playing as a Goomba. A powered up Goomba in a Mario game, kind of like that.
Nice.
But the weird thing about the game that I wasn't expecting is you can't control where you're moving. Like Goombas only move back and forth. You can only move back and forth. You only start out with the ability to jump.
Wow.
So it's very bizarre.
Cool.
But also, I've been playing. I kind of want to make a video for this on my other channel, and then I've been playing Loop Hero. I've been addicted to that game. I don't know if I'm going to do anything about the game because that game's a very popular game. There's tons of videos on that already. And one other thing, I can't remember what it was.
Well, we'll be surprised if it comes out.
It won't. I can't remember now what it was. It was something about I remember now. It's Pinball FX it has an official release next week. So
that's cool.
There's that too.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
I wonder if you're going to get a another Pinball Effects VR conversion, because there is a Pinball Effects VR for PSVR 1, isn't there? And I know there's new one's about to drop.
There probably is. They do a lot of Zen Studios does some weird things when it comes to like the cabinet mode and the VR mode. Like with the cabinet mode, you have to like email them in order to get access to it, because they don't want like vendors creating their own virtual cabinet and then installing that on there, and they're not getting any money from it or something like that. I don't know, but it's so far from what I've seen. I've been playing the early access version of it for quite some time, and it's very much the same as Pinball FX3 at the moment, with some extra stuff in the menus and stuff. So we'll see if they somehow get more away from Pinball FX3. So I know everything new that they're being releases in this new version, it's not going to be in Pinball FX3. So if you want to play the new stuff, you're going to have to move over to the new one anyway.
Nice. Well, awesome stuff. Awesome. So I know, Sean, that you don't normally have things that you might have in the pipeline releasing on a social media platform, but got anything cool that you're...
I mean, I can't really plug Evercade, can I? I mean, you will own it, right? You bought it.
Well, wait, but Evercade, what's this thing you're talking about?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, no, nothing else really, other than you know, Evercade Social's still doing some things, and come join the communities, come and have fun with us and enjoy it. I mean, personally, I don't really have much. I'm doing a weekly newsletter at the moment. I think that's probably about it that I'm doing at the moment. Cool. Which isn't about Evercade. It's completely separate to Evercade, but it is about retro games, because obviously I'm a nerd.
Yes.
So yeah, but I mean, it's been really interesting actually. The last couple of things. Oh yeah, because Ian's actually a member of my newsletter, and he hasn't left yet. So
that's awesome.
Cool.
Where can we get such a newsletter?
Oh, I should probably put the link in, shouldn't I? Let me pass the link to you, and
put it in private chat, and then we can put it out.
Yeah, it should be, I think, unless somebody beats me to it. But yeah, I talk about random things. I talked about GoldenEye a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Somebody's put it in, has I? No. Let me just double check that that's actually
Skill Tricks. Yeah, he likes the idea of Sean being on card. No,
yeah, we definitely figure that out.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, I mean that's the personal thing. Don't feel the need to describe it for Evercade news, because it very specifically will not have anything Evercade in it ever, because it's like work is work, fun is fun. Yeah.
Well, make sure you guys go hit that up, and hit that little subscribe button there. You gotta put in your email and then put in the subscribe button.
Yep.
As I just did.
And you'll probably have me moaning about Avatar: The Way of Water and possibly licensed video games this week, because
Fair enough.
I did say on Twitter, I went to see that movie the other day because my wife wanted to see it, and I was interested to see it as well. And I don't want my 3 hours back, but I want at least maybe 1 hour quarter.
One of the two. I've heard that, actually. I've heard that second act gets real. That's a slug. That's what I've heard. So
it is
interesting stuff. Well, thanks for sharing that, and of course for hanging out with us.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's great to see off the year of the bacon ice cream, and
That's right.
welcome in the year of the effect.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know if you heard earlier, Sean, too, that I created a new special 30-second intro for Evercast. So
yes, it'll be cool.
I'm intrigued to see new year, new production values, new idents.
That's it. Oh yeah, it's gonna be really cool. So
season, yeah.
So, and then over here, of course, the fun doesn't stop. Actually, normally we have nothing on Sundays, but it is just so happens that there's some game that people are playing at night.
Are you saying that this is nothing?
Well, no. Usually there's nothing on Sundays. On a Sunday,
I think it's Saturday.
Yeah, today's Saturday, but usually there's nothing on Bacon Ice Cream Productions on Sunday.
I thought you said Saturday. I might have mistaken
Sunday. But there just so happens to be some game that's being played, at night with like a football or something. So we're gonna play this game right here.
Yes.
Show Montana Football on Sega Master System to predict, of course, the outcome of that game. or it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs versus that Philadelphia Eagles team that seems to be hitting up that poll. And it looks like, because I was going to give it to the end of the Evercast, it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles is the chosen team, so I will be playing as Philadelphia Eagles in that game. We'll see what happens.
I've just remembered. Can we do this on Evercade as well? We can, can't we? 'Cause doesn't Power Football have?
Power Football.
They don't have the license, but it
Yes.
has.
Yes.
Yeah, Crimson Cross actually did a prediction game, and he put the results of it in my Discord. Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was pretty neat.
When are we doing the Cadies?
When are the Cadies is another great question. Those will be happening later this month, if not the first week of March, over on Evercade Effect. We are waiting for some art teams. Yes, actually, actual art teams to be working on fine things like these little things right here. They're actually going to be there'll be some hand artwork on some of these things. That'll be pretty cool. Plus, also, I don't know, we might have to battle with some shipping things, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yes, the Cadies will be happening. Right in that award season. So that'd be kind of neat. That'll be fun. Fun time to be had.
Loosely the next few weeks to a month, we keep.
That's right. Yep. Skeletrex had an awesome question. That was, and Rich, how does one become a member of the Good Times Club? Well, there's a button that says join right on the homepage of this channel of Bacon Ice Cream Production. You hit that join button, and boom, you can become a member of the Good Times Club and get exclusive content right from this face to yours, and all sorts of other goodies, including all sorts of fun emoji and icons and all sorts of fun stuff while you're interacting with us in chats of future live streams, of which there will actually be some, but also coming soon. So, and then, of course, the only thing I have left to do is beat this. And I will, because we're so very close. It is, we're knocking on the door of Dungeon 9, and then right to the final dungeon to get.
I'm looking forward to that.
Boom, boom, which will happen live, either here or on the Calling All Retro Gamers channel, and that's it. So thank you all so much again for hanging out. Thanks once again to Sean and everybody else. And until next time, we'll see you next time on the Evercade Effect.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe over there. All right, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much, guys. See ya.